It is the Tina and Sheletta show. That's my girlfriend Tina. And before we get started, we wanted to let you know Minneapolis holds a special place in entrepreneur and designer Houston White's heart. It is where he got his start and where our podcasting company is based. So whether it's launching the Get Down Coffee Company or his new Houston White for Target collection, Houston takes immense pride in giving back and inspiring those around him. So watch Houston discuss turning passion into reality and the importance of lifting the community up on Target's exciting new content series, Black Beyond, now playing on youtube.com/Target. Tina, girl,
hey.
we have to talk because something is wearing me out right now.
Girl, what's wearing you out?
All these damn emails from current and former friends who have kids in school and they're doing fundraisers. I got one today from somebody whose daughter is named McKaylin at Westbury High School. McKaylin does not ring a bell.
Okay, where's Westbury High School? Is that
Westbury
there?
High School in Houston, in Southwest Houston. And she's on the cheer team, and she's raising money, and she's trying to raise $5,000 and want me to donate. And I'm like, okay, who is McKaylin? And what grade is she in? And then they sent a picture, okay, of the whole cheer squad. Even looking at the picture, I don't know who McKaylin is. Now, when me and you was in school, and we wanted to raise funds, we did newspaper subscriptions. We did
sell some candy.
Okay, the car washes. We did car washes. We had dinners. We did dinners. We did drawing.
Yes.
We would go clean up people's yards and cut grass and raise money.
Exactly.
If we wanted to participate, we did whatever we had to do to raise the money. Now these kids are either getting on the corner begging or they coming through your email like crazy asking for donations. Ain't nobody lifting a finger to try to raise no money.
You don't know, yeah. I mean, because I think with this whole new social media world, you know, that GoFundMe and all of this stuff that I even had, you know, one of a lady from church, and I definitely understand her daughter wanted to go live abroad, and I get it. And she was raising money and sending everyone from the church an email saying, "Oh, she wants to go abroad." Well, if your child want to go to abroad, you better have money, because you can't ask the church. This is not tithing. She asking the church to provide funds, and she like $10,000 for her to go abroad and live for a year and leave college and go there for a year.
And she ain't got no skin in the game.
But you know what? I probably would have been really more receptive. I gave $20, but if the daughter would have wrote the story and gave me the information, and that's what I say. I mean, I can almost get the parent. I mean, getting the fundraiser online, but don't be where your child at? She probably never said a word to nobody, can't get 5 words out of their mouth. I'm like, that's my thing is, hey, if you want this so bad, you should be reaching out. You better be out. You better have your game on. Hi, how you doing? Remember me? Blah blah. You come talk to me. I probably would have gave her $200.
Girl, I was gonna say, if she'd came up to you in church with a crochet blanket or a subscription or something, or a dinner or a fundraiser of some kind, or a little dance or a little car wash or something, these people just have their hand out, and I have a fundamental problem with that. I have a problem that we are teaching these kids that all they have to do is ask. Andrew working at McDonald's. And he working, 4 to 8 a couple of days a week, and then he work on weekends, like 1 to 9, 1 to 10, or whatever. Right. And so he came to me and said, "Mom, I want to play on the football team, and the registration is $200." I said, "Well, you working. I'm not gonna fund your ambition. You take your money and you put it to work." But the other kids' parents, I don't care what the other kids' parents are doing. You go over there, and if you want to play football, you put your money where your mouth is. You got to have some skin in the game, girl. Do you know he didn't sign up for football? Well, then your heart for a minute. Your heart went in. So now all y'all raising money to send somebody child abroad. Now suppose she get over there and don't even like it or don't want to be there.
Girl, what, I won't even tell you. One of them came back pregnant, so I definitely wasn't even trying to get involved. One of the daughters went off to college, and they had the big farewell with the band and hired the violinist, the guy who comes out with the electric violin, had a whole hip hop party. That girl came back with a baby by the end of the semester. So my thing is, yeah, I totally get it. And I even had some old people who I work with, they text me. Oh, like you said, Michaela over here, she on the basketball team, and they raising money, and I get it. And then you could pay for popcorn. They selling this popcorn thing. I don't want all that popcorn. Or you could just donate it to some shelter or whatever. The popcorn to get donated to a shelter, and where the proceeds would go to them. And I'm like, okay, it's just so much stuff out there that it's like, okay, all right. And I don't like giving my credit card. I don't like giving my information online like that. But I'm like, I know this guy, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And every year, he didn't send me bread. I don't think I ever got that bread. I never got it. I mean, they were selling some kind of this baked bread with cream cheese and all this stuff in there. And I said, okay. So I ordered like 3 of them. I spent like $60. I ain't never seen them bread.
Oh, I'm still waiting on my cookie dough. Little neighbor girl down the street, she was selling frozen cookie dough for something. Girl, I'm sitting up here, I done bought girl about $20-$30 worth of frozen cookie dough. She pays every morning walking to school. How Mrs. B? Girl, the cookie dough ain't showed up.
Cookie dough? I want my money.
Girl, it's been years.
Yeah, and then and you want to support them, but one, I always want to know, how involved are you in whatever organization that you're giving this money to? How much of this is going to the organization? And then because I get concerned about, you get into these little fundraisers that they doing online, and they over here, they done made like $10,000, and it's only $2,000 going to their fundraiser. Girl, y'all could have did something different.
Yeah,
because
go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'm like, I need to know what's going on, and I want the kids to come and talk to me and have a conversation. That's all I say. Because I would definitely support them. Because like the Girl Scouts and the Boy Scouts, and they sell their cookies, and they do it themselves, and it means something.
Yeah,
it don't mean nothing if your parent, or you just all you did was send an email or send a text or inbox somebody.
And they got a broadcast list. They got a long email list of the people that they hit up every year. I'm sure, the text messages that they send out every year from the folks who faithfully give. And if you got 100 people giving $10, each, if you got 200 people, 300 people giving $20 or $30 each, but like you said, where is the responsibility on the kids? And then we wonder why these, Gen Zers and millennials are boomeranging and moving back home. It starts with, okay, your football team, your basketball team, your cheer team needs money to go to nationals, or they need money for uniforms. Well, you know what? Let's all get together and come up. Let the kids come up. Let them think. Come up with a car wash, or a bake sale or something, instead of just inboxing your mama and daddy's co-workers and friends and classmates and neighbors saying, give me money. I don't know. I don't like the GoFundMe, because it is crippling people, and it is not forcing them to prepare for their families financially. Like somebody was like, well, I'm starting to GoFundMe because I need to make sure my daughters are taken care of. And I was like, your emergency is not for me to handle financially.
Exactly.
You got a plan.
Exactly. It's same thing with people who, we know a couple of things. We gonna die. Why don't you have life insurance? And why are we why you gonna send a GoFundMe or ask people for money pay for your burial and all these repasts? And I even seen people where they've gotten like 5 and 6 limousines, and they riding around in Rolls Royce just to go to a funeral for somebody who didn't even have money to pay for the funeral. And so I'm like, I'm just kind of at my wit's end on how people are thinking today. And it's like, okay, I just put a couple, I put a page out there and give a sob story, and people are going to give all this money, and I don't have to invest in that. You had 40, however many years to say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna put $10 aside for my life insurance because I want to take care of my family. I want to take care of my kids. So I really believe that it's so easy to say, okay, well, I don't have it. I'm a charity case. I don't want people to feel like a charity case is a good option because that's not a long-term plan for me. I just don't believe it.
I don't like the way Black people especially are using this GoFundMe. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
when they see that they can't meet a need financially, all of a sudden they just open it up to the world. And quite frankly, it's embarrassing. I had a
Yeah.
friend who died, and his sister went on there and just told all his business. I'm putting out a GoFundMe for him. For those of you who don't know, the last 2 years he wasn't working and he didn't have no insurance. And so all his friends were like, wait, what are you doing?
What?
If you need some money, you need to come to us. You need to say something. Don't be going out there telling the world he was a broke ass. Okay, that's for us to know.
That's great.
Nobody else need to know but us. And for me, when I look at GoFundMe is for people who ain't got no friends. Because if you have friends, you ought to have somebody in your circle that you can call and say, hey, go get a loan, go pawn some shit. Come on, let's
pull some money off your 401k. Somebody pull some money out. People, and that's what I keep saying. If you probably gonna be the beneficiary on something later on. If you know that this is your responsibility, I have asked every family member, do you have life insurance?
Please. Thank you.
And if I have an uncle, my sister was just saying, I have an uncle who was, I said, get your life insurance. You older, you can get you some life insurance just to make sure, or just start paying on a policy. You 70 years old, 60 years old. And, I don't even know if it ever happened or whatever. But in my mind, I keep on saying, he getting older. I'm like, if they call me and tell me, hey, y'all, the family getting together, listen, there's some family have some decorum. The family will get together and they be like, girl, we got to pay for Uncle John's funeral. But I don't know, that pride and decorum out the window. People don't care. If somebody else cash out, hey, it's my birthday, and put their cash app on there, I'd be like, good luck. How you gonna put your cash app on today's my birthday, I'm celebrating, and put your cash app on there? And I'm like, that people, you don't even give people an opportunity. You beg it. I call it begging. That's all I think of it.
And we are from a time in a generation where we don't do that, girl. Andrew got this job at McDonald's, and I told him, I said, do not take free food from anybody. I said, if you want something to eat, you pay for it. Oh, no, Mom. Sometimes they give us free food. Why is ass get in trouble for taking an apple pie?
See?
Oh no, because I got confused. Because see, on the weekend we get free food, but during the weekday we don't. And so I took the apple pie, and I didn't realize, I forgot what the rule is. You don't take anything.
You don't take anything. Anything free.
We just raising these kids to think, oh well, when things don't work out, you just go on and start you a GoFundMe and
or go back home to your parents. Girl, doggone well, once you left that house, that door got locked. They changed the room. They done changed the locks. You can't just come back. You can't just come back home. Like today, I ain't never seen so many people say, oh, my daughter's living with me, my son's living with me. I'm like, I ain't like 30. I used to think that people who had they be like, oh, I ain't moving back with my parents.
Yeah.
At, 30 years old, so I can save money, or because I don't want to pay for this or that. And I know we just came out of a pandemic, and people have to kind of regroup. But
we all gotta do it. If we gotta do it, they asses too.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I told my kids, they was like, Mom, if something happened, can I come back? I said, no, I'm probably gonna pay for you to get your own apartment. I said, don't worry, if something going down, you let me know, because I have come accustomed to my lifestyle, and my kids are grown, and I'm like, I will pretty much have to bite the bullet and say, we're gonna have to figure out how you gonna stay where you at, or we're gonna find you a place that's reasonable, because because I don't want them to feel, I want to push them out that nest, and I want y'all to go on and fly away.
Yeah. I think that we were more of problem solvers and thinkers than these kids are now, because like Andrew was telling me he wanted to take driver's ed, and I said, well, how much is it? He said $400. I said, how much do you have saved up? And he didn't have enough. I said, well, maybe you can go to Miss Keisha and ask her if you can, work some extra hours. I said, or you can go over to the driver's ed and see if they got something where you can get you a discount. you
Yeah.
know. And so he went over there and they discounted it for him. They gave him $100 or so off. So then he had enough money. But girl, I was not going to pay for that. But even then, like that would be something as a kid, if I was
Yeah.
hustling, that I would think of. Like I'm
Exactly.
having to tell him to think. My mama didn't have to tell me to go ask if I could get a discount on something, or ask if I could do extra credit work to get my grades up. That's some shit
Yeah.
that I would do on my own. But
Yeah.
don't do that.
Yeah, but I just think it's different times, and I always think of that commercial. I forgot which commercial, but that guy said, "We've become our parents. We've become our
Oh,
parents."
that's progressive. Yes,
You better-
yes.
but I tell you, we have become our parents, and I guess the kids are like, "What in the world? That ain't stuff we do. You don't do that." I always think about when that lady, she turns around and tell everybody, "Y'all stand in a straight line." I said, no, they don't have to stand on a straight line. They're not their parents. You ain't the line monitor. We don't need no line monitor anymore. And you know what? And I think maybe we have to take that helicopter off of the kid and say, you know what? I think we have to go back to what they how you gonna solve that issue. You let you tell me the solution, just like they do at work. What's you can't just bring me a problem. Bring me the solution too. So there
Yeah,
you go.
and Sean tells the kids all the time he gets paid to solve problems. He goes into a clinic or a hospital, and they got too many patients and not enough workers, not enough nurses, not enough Black doctors. What's gonna be the solution? He said, "I get paid to think."
Yes.
If you are not a thinker, you're gonna get paid to work, and you're gonna be tired. You're
Yes, you
gonna be
are.
exhausted.
You are. You really are. You really are. And I tell you, they have a different philosophy. I'm trying to have the healthy balance between what these young generation X and generation Y and Z and all of them have to say. But I definitely feel like, they innovative enough that they can figure it
Yeah,
out.
that's the thing. They
They
so
innovate.
smart. They are so smart, girl. They are
Mhm.
creative, and they can come up with all kinds of stuff. But it's like, okay, wait. They need $400 for the driver's ed. You
Yeah.
got 200 and something.
Yeah. What
Ask for
kind of discounts y'all have? But we came from we had hustle mentality. I'm tell
yeah.
you, because I'm gonna tell you, from down to Pell Grants and trying to figure out how we was gonna pay for
Yes,
college. We didn't have no savings, no funds saved for college, but we figured it out.
we did.
We figured out how we was gonna do what we needed to do, get a car. I mean, I think I wanted a home phone. I said, can I just have my own phone in my room? So if you can pay the bill, you can get, you pay for everything and you got a steady job, you can go do whatever you want to do. And I was like, shoot, next thing you know, shoot, by the time
You
it
had
took
your
me till I was
stuff.
by the time I was 17, I was almost 17 before I could actually get them to get the phone company to come down there and do all the stuff I needed to do. But I did it on my own. And then the crazy part about it, they didn't even know, didn't ask, didn't care. And all they know
Because you
is
was paying for it yourself.
all they said was, you make sure that this stuff ain't impacting my credit and my phone bill over here on this other side. That I did it.
So what do we do? Because I'm tired and I don't want another email from McKaylin's about. I don't even know who McKaylin's mama is. So do you donate,
Respond.
unsubscribe? But how do you respond though? What's the
Yeah.
response? Because I
The
don't
response is, hi. I said, tell me more about, I bet you go back and say, tell me more about what you're doing. Give me a call, text me, send me a personal email so I know what's going on. And I bet if they don't respond, then you ain't got to get them nothing.
Okay.
Because I'd have to say that you want more information. It's just like those random emails you get that says, we got your daughter hostage, she need money. I need to find out, okay, which daughter,
Right.
and who are you? Let me go. You gotta do your checks and balances on some of this stuff, because I have to question. Don't have me on some random list sending me, oh, we need money, and because that's just like you said. If they get 100 people to donate $10, they got money. And a lot of people will just donate because they're like, oh, whatever. They just let the money just go and I got to tell you a funny story before we go. There was a lady, she was getting married, and I don't know where I saw it. Maybe it was on a YouTube or something like that. And she was getting married, Black girl. And she said, one of her friends said, hey, you know what? If you have a couple of extra invitations, why don't you, just send it to, go to one of the really, really nice neighborhood, write their address, find out who lives there, and just send them an invitation to your wedding. Well, this particular girl, she sent an invitation. I guess, I don't know, wherever Bill Gates lives. She went to this neighborhood, rode around the neighborhood, just wrote down addresses, sent the invitation. Do you know Bill Gates' assistant contacted her and said he doesn't really he don't really remember you, but he can't make the wedding. He's sending you $10,000. And he said, because I'm sorry, I cannot make the wedding, but congratulations. Do you know? But let me tell you, the girl was very honest. She got up there. She said, there was no way. She said, she called the assistant back. She said, I am so sorry. She said, he doesn't know me, and I don't want the $10,000. Please don't send it, because you gave all your information. He got it, and it was. But you know what? It's amazing how people just get something and are compelled, because like we said, we are our parents, and we come from a generation where you give an invitation, you out of respect, a graduation, a wedding, you feel like if you thought enough of giving it to me, I want to make sure I give you something. And she didn't take the money, which I thought was a really, really great thing. I have to send you the video, but she didn't take the money. But what I did feel that, she said she didn't even think it would work, because she said she had like 5 extra invitations, and she just went in a neighborhood. She didn't even put names on it. She just put her name. She just put the address and sent the invitation, threw it in the mail, and boom! Lo and behold, it was Bill Gates's address. And it was some big gated community, and she went and found the most expensive neighborhood in her city, and then she just sent out some invitations. Ain't that something? And I don't know, this is what she said, but again, we feel obligated to give, but I don't think we have to. I don't think we have to anymore. I think that rule needs to be revised.
Yeah, and I think especially with the times that we're living in, and everybody's got their hand out, everybody's looking for something, everybody wants something, nobody wants it. Because from the generation that we're from, when people ask, it was the last resort. It was not the first option. The first option now is to GoFundMe. The first option now is to ask. The first option now is to dig in your pocket and get your money to give it to me. That's the first option. Typically, where we are from, people have exhausted all other options. And this is the final thing that they're doing, and it hurts them to do that. Now, because people ain't got no shame about taking your money. I have to remind somebody. I said, I got 4 kids over here. You got 0 kids. I got 4 kids.
And then they don't even have no couth. They'll take your money, and then they'll be like, girl, I just bought this brand new Louis Vuitton.
That's what I want to tell you. That's what I want to tell you. So this girl I know, wait a minute, this is going to mess you up. So this girl I know, she went on vacation out the country. She got sick, and she started to GoFundMe, right? Because she was in the hospital for weeks. Like the whole crew that she went with, they all had to go back home. I mean, she was in the hospital for weeks. She was sick. They did not know if she was going to make it. And so they had a GoFundMe, girl. And I gave $1,000. I was like, oh my God, you are sick. You are in another country. This is horrible. You are left alone by yourself. And she posting all these real pitiful pictures. And, oh, she's so sick. She don't feel good. And the doctors are keeping her. And I just, I'm like, she got bills back home. I don't want her to get out the hospital, get better, and get home and lose her house or lose her car. Let me give as much as I can right now, and then if I got to give more later, I'll do that too. Because I'm thinking in my mind, imagine one of us or you or Yvette, y'all go to another country and get sick.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And you didn't get any travel insurance or something.
Right. Or you got bills waiting for you back home and you haven't paid your rent or mortgage or car note or insurance or whatever. And you're not working. So you're not getting paid. And so I'm like, oh my God. Oh girl, it bothered me so much, girl. And I don't do the GoFundMe. So I had her daughter come here. Because I don't ever even want my name on a GoFundMe. I hate them damn things. So I told her daughter, I said, listen, if y'all want this money, you got to come to my house and get it, because I'm not donating on the GoFundMe. I'm old. I'm going to give your ass a check. And you're going to work that check out. So she came here. She picked up the check. They deposited it. Girl, she got better. Praise God. Thank you, Jesus. She came home. Girl, a week later, this heifer was like, I'm on the front row at the Kevin Hart concert. Anybody, if you ain't never been on the front row at the Kevin Hart concert, you missing out on a treat. I'm front row. Girl, she taking pictures and stuff. I'm like, heifer, is that my damn money? Front row at Kevin Hart and bragging about it. Just 3 weeks ago, your ass had to GoFundMe. I'm like, you can't go. You can't go from a fucking GoFundMe to the front row of a Kevin Hart concert. And that's respectful.
And you know what? And the thing about it is that if you got abundance of money that you didn't need any additional, then you know what? hey, you know what? Thank you so much. I want to give you your money back, and if you, or I'm going to donate it to another cause to help somebody else. Something. Don't flaunt that you didn't took my money and went and did some other stuff with it.
I ain't never been to the front row of a Kevin Hart concert. Hell, girl, you know how expensive a Kevin Hart concert is?
I can imagine.
Premium prime, and this, and girl, she in the taking pictures. This chick headed to the Kevin Hart concert. This chick at the Kevin Hart concert. This chick coming home from the Kevin. I laughed so hard, my stomach hurt. Front row. Girl, 3 weeks ago, your ass was collecting money.
They don't care. They don't no cool. They ain't got. They no decorum. You know, because if that's something that I'd be like, you know what, I would have put a whole disclaimer. Somebody gave me free tickets because they heard. I would have made sure everybody know that I ain't paid. They gave me this because they felt sorry for me last week, girl.
Something. She took all that money off that GoFundMe. I don't know how much she raised and turned her ass smooth around and went got from her. And that's when I was like, that's it. You know, it's just, it's ridiculous. How you gonna do somebody's, you know, like you said, money like that? If you going, just say, hey, I just want everybody to know all the funds you gave me, this way it went. You can't even get a grant without accounting for it.
Yeah.
You can't get nothing. You have to account for that money. Tell us how you spent that money.
Itemization. I need itemization. I paid my light bill. I paid my insurance. My kids. Girl. But they don't care. That girl, you don't know where that money go. That's another reason. I'm like,
and don't know if the story true.
And you hear all the stories all the time. People say some person that's helpless and in need. You remember that guy who was homeless, who had the nice voice, and those people raised all that money for him because he was homeless and he had this radio voice. Or girl, they raised like
somebody, girl.
He said he didn't get all that money.
No, he didn't.
He didn't get all that money. And them people, it does need to, you need to be charged, or people need to do more research, or some taxes need to be, so who got that money and what they do with it,
and what they do with it.
No money is tax free.
Anybody can go in there. It's basically like you standing on the corner with your hand out. GoFundMe is an opportunity for people to stand on the corner and hold their hand out online. And I'm sorry, I don't even know that I want to ask. And I'm a generous person, but girl, they done messed all the way up.
Yeah, sure have. I'd rather that man on the corner with the can, because I didn't even see some. They even innovative. They didn't made it where they got the can where they got some little thing, almost like a arm that it'll go all the way across, and they ain't even got to get up. I said, oh, he didn't create it, so it's almost like a pole he had, and that pole extended out. And
but he done got innovative.
He didn't got innovative. See, and I was like, I think I gave him money because I gave him money for the invention itself. Because he didn't made him a can to collect his money, and he could sit right there at the stop sign, and he didn't even have to get up. He didn't have to walk up and down. I even think the thing might have went over to the other lane and went on top over the car. See,
I'm not
be innovative. Look, I pay for it. Give me the real.
Girl, we done gave him the real today. I had so much fun talking to you. But I tell you what, I'm done with I'm done with the GoFundMe.
No more GoFundMe. And I'm telling you, hey, that time when next time you get one, who are you? What's going on? I haven't talked to you in a long time, girl. Sometimes you start having a conversation with people, they start going ghost on you. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ghost on you too. You can't get my money.
All right, girl. Love you.
Love you too. Talk to you later.
All right. See y'all next week.
Get fast, reliable internet for any budget. Now qualifying customers can get Xfinity internet free through the Affordable Connectivity Program. That's right, free high-speed internet from Xfinity. And Internet Essentials customers can get equipment included at no extra cost. Get started today.
At Hy-Vee, we take pride of being part of the communities we serve. In 2021, we donated more than 14 million meals, and this year, we're committed to doing even more. For over 90 years, we've been the place that people turn in time of need, and we take that very seriously. That's why we're loading our semis full of food this week and making deliveries across the Midwest to help families this Easter. To join our effort, Simply donate when you're at the checkout. Together, we can make a big difference for those in need.
When my daughter was first diagnosed with autism, I didn't know what to do because I knew she qualified for services and resources for people with disabilities. But trying to figure out how to manage everything was overwhelming. So I turned to the folks at Akra Home Care for help, because for 30 years they've helped families like mine and provided self-guided personal care assistance services and financial management assistance for their developmentally delayed and elderly loved ones. The folks at Akra helped us get a fence so my daughter could play outside in the backyard safely, and even showed me how to use the resources to get a trampoline. And that's just a couple of the things that Akra Home Care does. Whether it's assisted living, mental health, or home health care, they've got you covered. Akra will make sure your loved ones who need services actually get it. Go to their website at akrahomecare.org or give them a call at 952-935-3515.
Looking for a meaningful career with great pay and great benefits? Want to be part of something bigger? Here's your chance. Union Pacific Railroad is hiring train crew members in the Twin Cities area, now offering hiring incentives up to $15,000. No previous railroad experience is needed. We provide all the essential training, and you can get a free college education while working. Get your career on the right track with Union Pacific and apply today at up.jobs/Minnesota. That's up.jobs/Minnesota.
There's a new way to get around in North Minneapolis. It's Metro Transit Micro, a new ride-sharing service that connects you with Metro Transit bus routes or wherever you need to go on the north side. It's convenient, affordable, and accessible. Metro Transit Micro uses minibuses to reach more neighborhoods, and you'll have shorter wait times. It costs just the same as bus routes, and it's easy to use. You can pay your fare in cash, a go-to card, or the Metro Transit app. Just go to metrotransit.org/micro. Download the app and create your account. It's really simple. So whether you're going to a friend's house in Bryn Mawr to watch the Vikings game, or you need to get dropped off at the Metro C Line station to hop on a bus to get to work across town, Metro Transit Micro got you covered. Book a ride, get picked up, and get where you need to go. Start riding today on one of the new Metro Transit Micro minibuses.
It's back to school time, and that means it's back to cooking breakfast for your kiddos and making school lunches. That's a lot of cracked eggshells and cut-off sandwich crust. Now listen, before you think about throwing those food scraps away, think about recycling them. Ramsey County has a program that can help you do just that, and it won't cost you a dime. Ramsey County has a free food scraps recycling program that lets you collect stuff like apple cores, coffee grounds, and veggie scraps. Here's how it works. Put all those scraps into a compostable bag. Then once a week, drop it off at a free food scrap site by your house. And listen, I understand that life is busy, so if you can't get there once a week, just toss the bag in the freezer until you can find the time to do it. To locate a food scrap collection site near you and to get more information about the program, visit ramseyrecycles.com/food scraps and tell your friends and family about it. Let's all do our part to help save the planet.
48 million Americans and 640,000 Minnesotans care for older parents and loved ones with disabilities, like my 3 autistic kids. We are the backbone of America's care system, but Lord knows we face a lot of challenges, which is why it's so important that we know what's at stake in this upcoming election. Join me and my friends from AARP on Wednesday, October 5th at noon. We're hosting an informational workshop online about what's at stake for family caregivers this election year. Sign up to be a part of this important virtual conversation at aarp.org/mn. Together, we'll work to make sure family caregivers have our voices heard.
All right, did you know I was the Mommy Slam Dunk Champion?
Really?
Yes, really don't sound so surprised.
Let's see it.
Oh, you're ready. All right, here we go. Let's hear the crowd. So go to right, go to left, fake a mom. Mama, go up, mama!
She did it.
Again?
You can't avoid gravity, but United Healthcare can help you avoid financial surprises by helping you compare costs and doctor quality ratings. United Healthcare.
Uh-huh.